Fiction is not everyone's piece of cake, but those who read and watch get to experience the protagonist's point of view, and what's more interesting than that, you can't get it until you start reading it. Also, you might not have heard about this before, but it's accurate that the world ends, but there is no end in fiction. After everything, there is someone to tell you the story, and that's what makes it alive. Likely, there are lots of video games on the internet that make us hooked to the stories and the characters. Apocalypse books can be beautiful and offer writers and readers a space to observe why and how the human spirit may become so dark. But not all books have the story you are searching for and in the mood to read. The fiction enriched with captivating storylines and characters makes it all worth spending hours relieving your thoughts and entering another world. I knew it already, and I got you all. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Links to the books are given in the description below. Number 10. Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. She is a novelist, poet, and critic widely regarded as one of the greatest in her field. Similarly, Margaret is dedicated to improving our culture. Atwood not only wrote but also lectured on English literature at several institutions in North America. Oryx and Crake is both a beautiful love story and a fascinating look into the future. A snowman, who used to be called Jimmy before a plague wiped out most of humanity, is trying to stay alive in a known universe, where he may be the last individual. He is also sad about losing his best friend, Crake, and the wonderful and ethereal Oryx they both adored. Oryx and Crake is a great novel that captures your interest and never let go. It is strange and exciting. Although it's more about the characters than the plot, it moves quickly. Jimmy, who goes by the name Snowman, tells the story from 2 points in his life, before the actual plague. Number 9. Wool by Howie. The author of well over a dozen books, but the one Hugh is best known for is called Wool, and it is a story about a dystopian future. Wool was initially published as a novelette. Because of how much money he made from it, he was able to give up his work and devote himself entirely to writing. A suspenseful post-apocalyptic thriller, Wool was initially self-published in 2011, and since then, it has grown to become a bestseller in the New York Times. Wool is a phenomenon that has been self-published as in a book, but it is also the new standard for traditional science fiction. A community has survived in a post-apocalyptic world by moving underground into a massive silo, which is hundreds of stories deep. Number 8. Zone 1 by COLSON Whitehead. The one who has proven to be the most adaptable and forward-thinking authors. Whitehead investigates the unusual and fantastic, from the secret life of escalators to global poker games. The most famous contemporary literary zombie fiction, where everybody left in Manhattan is indeed a zombie, a depressed straggler, or a person with post-traumatic distress. A zombie novel for those who don't like zombies, and an intellectual thriller for those who don't appreciate intellectual books. Zone 1 takes place over 3 strange days, during which Spitz is busy with the boring task of getting rid of stragglers, the difficult symptoms of PTSD. The story's writing style and structuring are a reflection of the conflicts that arise between remembering and living. The story ends when he charges headfirst into a sea of greedy zombies and opens fire on their gaping mouths. Number 7. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. A well-known American author who writes in the Southern Gothic genre. Cormac books, set in rural, feature wayward individuals and are renowned for their dark brutality, rich prose, and stylistic intricacy. In this book, McCarthy talks about a father and his young son who traveled tirelessly for several months across a landscape that an unknown disaster has severely damaged. The disaster has wiped out industrial civilization and almost all life. In the novel of McCarthy, the road serves as a metaphor for the human need to continue moving and surviving, regardless of the conditions. The book says that a roadway is a place of briefness and risk that unites all travel. The book has a thrilling story that you want to pick even in the middle. But at the end of the story, there is a lesson about hope, trust, and doubt that you will always remember and cherish. To be more specific about the moral, everything in the brutal world of the road depends on whether people trust or mistrust one another. Number 6. The Passage by Justin Cronin. An American author who has only written 5 exceptional novels, Justin has astonishing stories which readers and critics alike, compared to the works of Justin throughout the world, soared to the top of the bestseller charts and grabbed readers all over the world. It is an epic and compelling tale of the tragedy and survival of Amy, who was abandoned by her mother when she was 6 years old. Justin beautifully took the story where she was later found out and jailed by the mysterious persons in charge of a government experiment of huge proportions. However, the law enforcement officer tasked with finding her, Agent Wolgast, is disarmed by the mysterious girl and attempts all to save her. Wolgast facilitates her escape as the experiment goes horrifyingly wrong, but he cannot pause society's destruction. To your curiosity, Justin adds, Amy is burdened with the cryptic and terrible awareness that she is the only one able to restore order to the broken world, as she travels alone over miles and centuries into a world filled with hatred and sorrow. Number 5. The Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks. He is the author who has achieved great success, and now Max is credited with playing a role in transforming the interest in zombie mythology from a specialized subculture into a widespread pop cultural fixation. This book is one you must read if you want to get hooked or if you are invested in post-apocalyptic books. The Zombie Survival Guide will help you survive the troops of the dead that may be pursuing you right now. It is pretty thorough and fully illustrated. Everything you need to know is covered in this book, along with how to comprehend zombie normal body functions. Max ensures you'll learn how to prepare your house for a sustained war, make adjustments, and survive in any environment. The book ends with the moral that they aren't afraid. Therefore, why should you be? You will be able to find the answer after reading it out, with numerous other answers. Number 4. Ridley Walker by Russell Hoban in 1980. He is an author of novels and children's books from the United States. Hoban uses humor, psychology, myth, and imagination to explore themes of self-identity. The book Ridley Walker is unusual and fascinating, where a little child discovers a scheme to manufacture a weapon from the old world in England. The language of the book is indicative of mankind's limited literacy. Ridley had to mature into a man after his father was killed in an accident, and that's not all about the story. However, he stands apart from his peers due to his nosy nature, unusual habits, and the discovery of an artifact from a historical period. The horrors of Ridley's former life manifest in his present day, so society suffers. A writer says in his quotes that no one escapes from life alive, and Ridley's story aligns with it beautifully. Number 3. Station 11 by Emily. Who doesn't know about her? Emily has written almost 1,800 poems throughout the course of her lifetime. Emily is full of words and stories that can make you fall in love with her work. Here she talks about a girl who goes with a group of people and an interesting youthful story with a more thoughtful yet surprising end. With an illuminating yet profound plot, the author shocks the reader from one to the next to examine characters following the initial pandemic. A storyline that goes from 3 decades before the outbreak to 2 decades afterward and back then, with different aspects to entertain you that all feel real. Starting with a dramatic start when all the conveniences of civilization come to an end, a virus spreads across the globe and quickly takes off 95% of the population. A young woman travels with a group of actors and musicians who play music as they move from town to town. Even though they hunt for food and take precautions on a deadly planet, they cannot escape a lethal and mad preacher. The story mainly speaks that at first we wanted to be seen, but it wasn't enough once we were. Number 2. Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton. Talking about her, the first novel by Kira Jane Buxton was selected as a nominee for the Thurber Prize and others. Additionally, it was considered one of the greatest books published in 2019. The most underrated book that I can't rave enough about. Hollow Kingdom is a very different post-apocalyptic story than you're used to. It depicts the story of diseased humanity brought on by technology. The author Kira Jane will let you encounter some wonderfully iconic moments, and the book's unexpected style and stunning imagery will leave you speechless. I should also mention that the Hollow Kingdom is extremely funny, which isn't typical for stories about the end of the world. Number 1. The Stand by Stephen King. The stories in King's works more frequently center on circumstances than on complicated plots. Every one of his works is predicated on a string of hypothetical situations. The Stand is a remarkable novel consisting of 4 parts with an incredible plot. The plague, the dreams, the betrayal, the stand. It is a storyline of a patient that departs from a laboratory for biomedical research, while unintentionally bringing along a weapon that will kill 90% of humanity within a few weeks. Based on actual events, this film tells the tale of an unfairly punished ranch in North Dakota. Stephen King tells you a story on its own with the name of this novel. He explains that they depict themselves standing next to someone, ending with a thoughtful lesson about building a society The author leaves the readers with hundreds of unresolved thoughts and mysteries. I believe fiction is for everyone and anyone can understand. I have discussed the most amazing 10 books, and if you have any suggestions for me, do let me know. I love reading such books. This video helps you find the next book you are going to read, then like and share this video. Let me know in comment section on what type of books I should cover in my next video. Also, if you read one of the books mentioned in this video, share your review or thoughts with us. Subscribe this channel for more such awesome videos. Thanks for watching.